Okay, hey there. Minute in, I think we can get started. Um, this is the police. Like, all right. Um, Continuing the theme, took a bit of a break. Um, don't know how long, a couple days. I don't think it was a full 48 hours though. Um, yeah, a lot of stuff going on. In that amount of time, things that shifted from what I expected them to be. So I don't think I'll have to check my channel. I don't think that I actually went back and did Tropico 5. And I'd like to say that I will. Um, for all the reasons that I said that I was going to in the first place. But turns out there's a I don't know if I'd say a lot, but there's a decent amount of things that are are great, are good, or are at least piquing my interest. And this one falls into the latter category, actually, unfortunately, so far. But we'll see. You'll see with me. I won't do it on this screen. I'll do full screen. I just want to kind of watch my time as I get started on this. Um, and preface it. So when I say this is the police, like that's the title of this game, um, and it's the one of the many beauties of this that I like just from the start is um, it is very small. It takes up very little space. So it looks like I watched a cutscene. Well, I guess I watched what was probably meant to be their main trailer for this, and it piqued my interest enough. It looks very, I don't know how you'd phrase that. You'll see for yourself hopefully soon. Um, Probably like arcadey, like old school arcadey, like kind of pixelated almost. Um, Very like, I don't know, very low end in terms of graphics generally compared to current games. And this I don't think it's really that old of a game. Unfortunately, what I should do is write all this shit down in terms of who the developer is, what the copyright that's listed on the version that that I had to download to be able to stream this for you was listed because um, one of probably the biggest reasons why it's been a minute since I've done any of these streams that were intended to be, as many streams of PS Now games as I could, was I was busy in a PS Now game. But unfortunately, it was one of the many, probably more than half for sure, of the listed games. Well, I am tired. I'll get to that in a second. One of the many games in the library for PS Now games that you can only stream, and again, meaning like you can't download it to your console and play quote unquote offline, um, which is what I've done here with this game, and I did it previously with Mafia 3 as well as Tropico 5, and others. Those are the ones that I've done this week, for the two that I just mentioned. Mafia 3 was clusterfuck for me personally, just because I was not paying attention to the fact that it downloads a certain amount of data that allows you to quote unquote start the application, but then like 80% of the rest of it has not been actually downloaded or installed yet for you to be actually able to go past the progression screen like this one here. Um, so I haven't deleted it yet. I haven't gone back and watched it yet either. But there's slightly over 30 minutes of me on a screen basically like this for Mafia 3, like being very confused as to why it was not starting up. And yeah, obviously ended up figuring it out. As I said, it had not actually finished the download. So that sucks. My mouth is already getting super, or my throat or whatever is getting very dry from just talking the first 6 minutes of this. Well, 5 of the 6 minutes, I guess. So I don't expect a lot of talking. I'm just gonna let the game showcase itself, really. Um, no offense to this game, um, in particular, but part of the reason why I'm not doing that right now is because I am super fucking tired. So as it relates to me being tired for this game, based on what I can tell, you effectively are the police. You're you're either the chief of police, or you're in a big town and you're high enough up, and you kind of have to make key decisions. And it seems to be modernistic type of police stuff, like even responding to press and after um, uh, like questionable shootings and stuff like that. So it could end up being controversial, and if it is, it's not my fault. I didn't look. I watched 30 seconds of gameplay. I was like, yeah, that's fine, whatever. Let's go with it. It's like if it takes up a gig, I'd be surprised. So it took like 10 minutes to download and install and everything, so it's good to go. Um, However, being as tired as I am, being put into that position, I know it's not at all the same thing. It's not even really even equivalent, but it's like I'm going to kind of test my own ability to, at least in a short amount of time, because I don't expect to do this for very long. Um, oh, come on, fuck you. Internet connection's fine. I got things are also, you know, connected, but this is pretty much all I'm doing right now. So screw you. Um, so yeah, the trying to like be able to like react and do things that I would normally associate with good police work, um, after being at the end of a very long shift. Like that's kind of what this is gonna be like for me, because it's I'm not quite 48 hours, but I am, um, with a little bit of with a little bit of a nap, like 3 or 4 hours taken out of that, I'm pretty close to that right now. So every half hour, every hour that I put into this right now, just adding on to that. So I don't expect to go for very long. So let's just say that. So don't worry if you're watching. However, there's nobody in here right now, um, and so then you're gonna be watching this on a replay on YouTube, and you can already see what the final time is on. So no no confusion there. That I was saying, as far as PS Now games, that you can't do live broadcasts, which is typically referred to as streaming, um, because you have to stream the game as opposed to downloading it and playing it. Um, I've just been obsessed. I've just been playing Sid Meier's Civilization Revolution. I've already beat the game like 4 or 5 times, and I'm probably gonna keep playing. Like, unfortunately, it's gonna take up a lot of my time this week with this trial, because it's just like the best. It really is. It's like one of the best. I mean, obviously, it won a lot of awards at the time, and people can say that maybe games hadn't been developed. Whatever. I'm not gonna get into that whole thing. It's not just that it would won awards at that time, and that maybe it was it was playing in a in an era before the ball was juiced or whatever. It fine. Feel free to make that if you want to, but also almost, not almost everything, but a lot of things are based off of the games that came before them, and that one being one of them. There's an entire genre of stuff, two or three subgenres that have kind of branched off from ideas that weren't weren't necessarily brand new to gaming, from Sid Meier, from that series, but absolutely were, um, influential. Like whether the people that made newer versions that were you know I don't know, copies or whatever of it, um, whether they even knew about it and that it was influential, doesn't matter. It still was influential because it influenced the people who made the other ones, and maybe then the person who's making this new one today, wanted to make something similar to something else that they saw that came out a year or two ago, as opposed to, the Sid Meier stuff from a decade plus ago. So anyway, the game's fucking awesome, and I'm gonna probably continue to play it. But I want to get as much of this as I can onto the channel, and test out a bunch of stuff and see if any of these are any good. So I think this is gonna be okay. I think I'm gonna. Well, I was gonna click start from this screen right now, but part of the issue, I'm glad that they have a thing like this. I know you can't see the screen at the moment. Taking it off of the thing and going into full screen mode here. So for me, I'm glad that they have startup screens like this, which is not necessarily that common nowadays. Because for me, I'm literally trying to do all of these from start to finish. Whatever the finish stop point is for me. Like if I get tired of it, don't feel like playing anymore, I'm not going to. Or if I complete the game. Like if I had done Civilization Revolution, obviously like you can do different scenarios, or I haven't finished all of the scenarios when I say I completed the game. Like I won a standard game, and now I've won the first like 3 scenarios out of 9 or 10 or whatever it is. But like I would show all of that if I could, but I can't. So in this game I can show it, so I will. But we'll see how we'll see how much legs this particular game has. So without further ado, let's get into it. I'm gonna click start, and then we're gonna see, and I'm gonna do my best to basically shut the fuck up and just let the game be what it is. I'm gonna turn the sound up because I got no sound right now on this screen. So we'll see see how it goes. But you're gonna at least be able to watch a replay of how I reacted to it live. So I will keep the mic in, at least in the beginning, until I get a sense of the game, so that I can react to it, live, unfiltered, unscripted, having no fucking idea what's about to happen, and then we'll go from there. And again, it's 5 a.m. We'll go approaching 5 a.m. Eastern time in the States, so I don't want to go very long with this. I'm dead tired. My eyes are just no good. So let's get going.
Usually, before I go shaking my tits for the press, I like to go see how the professionals do it.
So it's THQ, I guess, is the publisher.
Some might say the chief of police has no business in an institution like this. But in fact, it's the quietest and safest place in town. You won't run into any reporters, nobody gets into any fights, nobody drinks too much, nobody even raises their voice. The place is owned by an elderly gentleman who knows how to keep things under control. That's why I never invite my friends here. I wanted to make an exception for my 60th birthday, but most of my colleagues are young enough to be my sons, and they'd rather just hire prostitutes. Why stare at some boobs when you can take the whole package for yourself? But there's none of that in our club. Even looking too long is considered indecent. You can get an occasional glimpse, like by accident. The rest of the time you just pretend that you're immersed in conversation, or just come by for a drink. Doesn't mean these gentlemen wouldn't want their bald heads smothered in tits. It's just that nobody says it out loud. My younger colleagues might call it hypocrisy, but I call it the good old-fashioned manners. Good manners and leave the rest unsaid. She agrees to unbutton her blouse, and we agree not to pay too much attention. The girls are on a quiet prowl, too. They're looking for a way out of their cramped rooms. Maybe make friends with some wealthy patron with a pacemaker and dentures. Everybody wants something. But we have to control ourselves, or we'll all turn into libertines and prostitutes. Hell, if there weren't any rules, I'd be belching and farting, jumping up on the table, arms held high, yelling, "Shake it, baby!" No idea how I got so barbaric.
Yeah, so I'm old. He's old. The character's older than I am, and I feel like I'd kind of agree with his younger colleagues. I don't do personally. I don't do too much of either. I mean, I guess that wasn't technically a strip club, but I don't tend to go to strippers, and I've never done the prostitute thing. But the times that I did, I kind of not realize that I was finding myself in a gentleman's club a while ago, like more than a decade ago. That definitely was part of my thought. It was like, I'm doing what now? I gave you all my money so that I can look like. So the peep show is just not a quarter anymore. It's fucking stupid, in my opinion. But I think things have evolved, at least for some people in some areas. It can be kind of entertaining. I don't know, it's not my thing. I'm gonna click on options. Let's go. Well, okay, I guess we'll do audio. Yeah, let's do. I would keep the music down low. But you do a percentage of cutscenes? That's fucking weird. Controller on or off? Why would you want your controller off? Oh, controller audio. Got it. As I said, I'm really fucking tired. So let's bring that a little down. Huh. They don't usually. It's interesting that they built that into the game. They usually don't put that in there. Alright, well, those are the only options. I was trying to see if I could make the game easier for myself, because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but apparently can't, so we're gonna jump in the story. No choice but to do a new game. Here we go. If they talk, I won't talk. Okay, well, I can't click on any of those. I can only click X to go to work. So, Mayor Rogers, sex maniac. Looks like there was a question mark on that. City Hall confirms rumor of Jack Boyd's resignation. Mark Ward 2 to be shown in Freeburg the day. Did they not loop the audio properly on the? It's weird. Also, by the way, like as I said, like just the graphics are intentionally, I think, probably meant to be minimal. We'll say. Let's be nice about it. Mark Ward 2 to be shown in Freeburg the day before the worldwide premiere by the mayor's personal request. Yeah, and they absolutely did not loop that audio properly, which is fine. I have no idea how much the game would actually cost if you bought it. Can't imagine it's very much.
When I was a kid, my father sometimes told me at bedtime that if I closed my eyes and didn't open them for a long time, all the demons would blow away. Yesterday I turned 60, but I still take his advice. Not because I'm sentimental or want to keep the memory of my father alive. I just can't think of a better solution. To get away from all the demons that haunt Freeburg, I'd need to wear a blindfold 24/7. Plus, it's a good idea to act blind when talking to reporters. At least that's what my colleagues say. They're afraid of press conferences. But for me, it's more like a confessional. No matter what lies you tell, you're privately thinking the honest answers. It helps me remember who I am. The fact that I'll be reading all about it in the papers tomorrow is a small price to pay. Call it penance for the preacher. This is the first time I'm afraid of those answers my mind has given me. Not because I'm mad I'm losing my job. Though it's true, I'm mad as hell. Not because I subconsciously blame everyone else. And don't even ask me what my next move is. I can't imagine. But even that doesn't scare me. The worst thing is, I know I'm gonna have to do something. And I'll be damned if I know how far I'll go. I may have a lot of vices, but predictability isn't one of them. I learned a long time ago how to drive away the swarming demons. But what do you do when they're trying to rip your soul from your skin? Shutting my eyes tight as I can. The best solution remains the same. Play blind. I just hope the reporters think I was blinded by the camera flash.
Well, they better give you the choices. I mean, it's fine to start. Some starts to games people see on this channel. I did a lot with Red Dead Redemption 2. You know, the major difference there, I think, is that even though it is mostly cutscene to start, when it does switch over to you having control, it is very seamless. So I'm going to click X here. Oh, whoops. I didn't click X. I moved the joystick, the left 3, and it did this. So yesterday, the mayor's office officially. It's kind of loud. What if I can? I'm done with this scene. Let's see if I can adjust the volume again. Yesterday, the mayor's office officially announced her resignation. Did this come as a surprise, or did you know about it in advance? Surprised, the mayor discussed it with me. I can go down and select it. Good. So surprised, the mayor discussed it with me. I've been expecting this bullshit. Mayor, what's the difference? Okay, so because I'm showcasing the game and whatever, I mean, I guess we're gonna try to start more white hat than black hat, so we'll cover for the guy who's probably the problem. Now, see, I'd go with the second one again, but then is that going to cause a problem with gender bias? I'll go with this one. no clue on that one. Okay, got through my first press conference.
How's the back today, Mr. Boyd?
Same as usual.
How did the press conference go?
You can read about it in the newspapers tomorrow. Don't let anyone in.
Even Mr. Kendrick?
Especially Mr. Kendrick.
So those opioids you're taking for your back, bro?
As soon as I heard the door creak, I knew what face I'd see. When I tell Emma not to let anyone in, there's only one man it could be. Rude, arrogant, no warning. That's Mayor Rogers in a nutshell. White summer shoes, white socks, white shorts, white polo shirt, and the white smile of a hungry shark. Mayor Rogers enters every room like he owns the place. Even the floorboards under his feet sound like they're creaking an apology. He never shied away from the odd corruption scheme. It's like the devil walks behind him. In the movies, the villains controlling the city play golf with the judges. Rogers plays tennis with them instead. That's about the only difference.
Jack, I was hoping to catch you after the press conference. You ran away so quick.
There's no smoking at City Hall. No reason for me to hang around.
Well, this morning I signed a ban on smoking in all public buildings. Soon you won't be able to smoke here either.
Soon enough, I won't be here at all.
That's what I wanted to talk to you about. The people of this city like you, Jack. The police chief of all people. Don't betray that, Jack. Don't get wrapped up in any schemes. Sit nice and quiet for the next 180 days, and you'll be remembered as a hero. That's the only thing that you still have left. Be the hero.
Then how am I supposed to scrape together a retirement fund?
You had a million chances to secure a luxury pension, one that even I would have envied, although I've never set aside any money for myself. I'm not planning to retire anytime soon. "180 days of quiet, Jack. That's all I need. I don't have any problems with you. Assistant, Troy Starr. If you have something to tell me, call him. But try not to bother him. He's a busy man."
I'll do my best.
And quit smoking up the office. One of my friends will be using it soon.
I'm sorry, babe. Only the mayor has this number. Mr. Mayor?
Yeah, is this Troy Starr?
Yes?
Go fuck yourself, Troy Starr.
Alrighty. Should I point on his resignation to ask the mayor? Clearly not what I said. I don't think. Civil servants' wages won't be raised this year. Cleanness of city streets increased by 20%. Yeah, my initial thoughts so far, because I'm not going to talk, as I said, through a lot of this, is that besides the fact that it's been almost exclusively cutscene up to this point, you know, the graphics are what they are, but the way that they present them, it's got kind of a, I don't know. And there you go with the, you know, they didn't loop the audio properly. It's really not that hard to do, guys. I mean, I know you made something cheap, so that it probably didn't cost very much to people to buy and for them to enjoy. And I didn't pay for it, so I'm not complaining about that. But you could do better. You can't. So the presentation of the graphics, to me at least, they feel kind of like, and I don't have a lot of knowledge or exposure to this sort of stuff, but it feels kind of like more like a graphic novel, in this like very specific types though, you know, like kind of like Sin City. Technically, the first 300 was more actiony of that style and just different. So let's go to work here. Go into our apparently shitty ass car. Sweet.
Cops don't use the police station cafeteria anymore. There's some kind of stigma against sitting shoulder to shoulder with your partners. Everybody just takes snacks from the machines or grabs a meal and hammers it down in the corner like a vulture on a corpse. The main thing? Don't look into anyone's eyes. Could be construed as an invitation to sit together. The only people eating here are ghosts.
That's fucking weird, but okay.
My deputy, Francis Kendrick, he recently became one of those ghosts. The subject of one of the most devastating corruption scandals in the history of Freeburg. No evidence to support the accusations, but everyone knows Kendrick's days are numbered. I need that file I asked for. Needs to be ready tonight. Francis didn't say anything, but I understood. Ghosts aren't supposed to talk. Besides, I got a feeling he was already finished.
Alright, now we're gonna get to do some stuff here. Would you like to receive tips about how the game works? Well, yes. Wait, what? You can literally choose. I'm gonna click down. I hope it doesn't actually select it. Okay, cool. I'm a 60-year-old police chief, a few months away from retirement. I don't need anyone telling me how to do my job. How about show me what you got? Now hold on a second. Let's see the options menu. Okay. Audio. Let's get this. I guess it's the sound effects. The music's even loud too. Let's turn all that down. Too much for me. Show me what you got. Just in case it's too small on your screen for you to read, I'll read. Wow, it's still like really fucking loud. Guys, like your audio doesn't need to be that crazy on it. I guess I left it at 70%, but still. Freeburg PD organizes upcoming work assignments into shifts for today and tomorrow. Every shift, officers respond to crimes in progress, and detectives continue their investigations. You can freely move employees between shifts. Okay, like seriously, what in the flying fuck? I'm almost ready to like turn it off, but I need it on. All officers and detectives possess several important characteristics. Professionalism shows the overall efficiency level of your policeman. A figure above 150 is considered average. What? Seriously, what the... Like, I couldn't hear the cutscene when they were talking enough from the volume level. Like, why does every game do this? I don't understand. And this should absolutely... I understand cutscene is at max. This should not be considered a cutscene. And it's not controller either, so it's got to be sound effects, and it's way too fucking loud. Figure around 150 is considered average. I guess they're saying this guy maybe falls short of this mark. Literally just yawned my earbud out. Falls short of this mark is not entirely reliable, while those whose professionalism is considered considerably higher than average are a safe bet, even in a pinch. An individual's level of professionalism may rise and fall over the course of their career, even though supposedly you're only going to be playing the game for 180 days, but whatever. What if we proceed? Energy shows how tired your policemen are. The less energy your people have, the less reliable their work, and a policeman after each working, I swear to God, I'm not fucking around. Like, I'm super tired. I'm yawning like crazy. 1 point of energy after each working day, and restore 1 point after each day of rest. So I can get myself 1 point of energy if I shut this off right now and go to bed. Is that what you're telling me? Hidden characteristics. Your employees don't tell you everything. Some additional characteristics are hidden from view. For instance, some cops are lazy and will come up with any reason they can think of to take the day off, while others like to drink too much. You can only guess about these things, but you should be able to draw your own conclusions based on their behavior of your employees. Okay, so this is Shift B. You can't click on any of them. Oh, it's mole. I was like, how? Like, you don't need to be super generic and call the person male. That's weird. Alright, so we're starting the day. I guess we don't actually choose the shifts yet. Maybe we'll do that later. That was me coughing, by the way. I know that happened at the same time that smoke cleared from the screen, but responding to calls is the bread and butter of police work. You'll need to send your officers to the crime scene before the timer expires. A mark on the map shows where the call came from. The farther away the destination is from the police station, the longer it will take your officers to travel back and forth. So the longer your people will be tied up and unavailable for upcoming work. Proceed.
110 in progress.
Oh, okay. Shit. I kind of wish that somebody was in the room right now to tell me if they could hear this. That's what they must mean on... See, I see something and I think that it's gonna be weird, and then it's not. Alright, so I'm gonna switch this to off because I don't know if it's gonna get picked up by my mic, because that was the controller that just spoke as opposed to the game, which is cool. I like that from a gameplay standpoint. And if I turn the mic back off, I would consider putting that back on, but then I don't know if it's gonna be captured at all in the the broadcast. So I'm gonna turn that off for now. Hit and run everyday. What? I can't fucking see. Everyday mall. L2. Okay. Clicking L2. There we go. Hit X as well. Calls, slots. The easiest way to determine how difficult a task might be is to check how many units you are allowed to send on the call. The more units you can send, the more information from the location of the crime scene to the presence of weapons and so on. All this can tell you how seriously each case should be taken. A mission might look simple at first glance until it turns into a brutal meat grinder, or a serious call can come in which turns out to be a false alarm. Close. Well, before I click close, I'm going to read on the right side in case it makes me go into this very quickly. It doesn't seem to be a very fast-paced game. Hit and run, everyday mall. A married couple exited a convenience store and saw a van in the parking lot back. Wow, okay. Saw a van in the parking lot back over a homeless man who'd been digging through a trash can. Driver jumped out to help, but once he saw that he'd hit a bum, he got back in the van and quickly drove away. Good stuff. Now we're going to click close. I guess it's now giving you a chance to read that, which I already did. And now we can select who to put in here. And we get to send 2 officers. Okay, I get it. My eyesight is no bueno. So I gotta get closer. Pardon my adjustments. It's kind of funny because I've been back away from the screen a couple of different spots and not going to the close one. This close one is super close. But for now, we're going to go here. Alright, so 250, 220, 210, 120, 100, 90, and 5. And then are all of they'll have full energy? I don't know. Couldn't tell you. I don't think we need to send our best to this one. Okay, so at least the timer stops when the crime is when you get to this thing. The last picture shows theater. The theater manager reports that during a showing of Citizen Kane, a drunk man attempted to force his way into the theater carrying a snowboard decorated with the word Rosebud. When he was denied entry, he violently attacked the cashier and is currently fighting with the theater's security guard. Okay, so let's go. We'll try just sending 1. See if that works. So I guess we sent all 3 of the middle ones. Wasn't intentional. Get messages yet? No. Outcomes. When everything goes well, the police capture the criminals and nobody dies, but the truth is sometimes the criminals manage to escape. Just try to avoid any dead cops or civilians. Dead cops will hurt your roster, and dead citizens bother the mayor even more than the living ones. Proceed. Offender caught. Officers unharmed. And it looks Did they both get us? It made it look like they both got slight boosts, but I don't think they did. I think they're the same. Oh, that is no good. Offender escaped, officer unharmed, civilian killed. Okay, yeah, I didn't, I mean, I guess they probably set you up for that. I didn't really think that was going to be much of anything. That's my bad, yo. Officer's unharmed, though.
910C in progress.
3 teenagers armed with a shotgun robbed a videotape store and made off with their whole collection of adult movies. The criminals fled in a car, but the store manager wrote down the car's license plate. The owner is one Janet Brown, who lives in the suburbs. Give the kid, or is that an old person? I don't know if that's white hair. Chance here.
311A in progress.
Brother and sister clashed with each other over their deceased father's will. According to one of the lawyers, we don't dare separate them, and our security guard is off duty tonight. Well, we don't have any choices here. Got to send the best. I don't think Austin can handle this one. Okay, so Purdy and Asano are back now, which, like, you know, I can't choose to send them to any of the ones that I just sent. And Tsubaki is back now as well. Assault in the ghetto. Passerby saw some teenagers attack an elderly musician, then run away with his guitar and money. I'm gonna go middle of the. Whoa, I can send 3. Wait, what? I know it's an assault, but why would you send 3? I'm gonna send the 2 middle pack. Direct orders. When your cops aren't sure how to proceed, they might contact you and ask you to handle the situation. Try to deal with whatever comes up, but don't waste all your time on this stuff. You have plenty of other problems on your plate. Proceed. The vehicle in question is parked right outside the Brown residence. The sounds of moaning and loud laughter can be heard through the living room window. Sneak into the house through an open window, knock on the door, open up police, turn on your siren and loudspeaker, and shout that the house is surrounded. Whoa, what the fuck? Oh. Okay, well, good thing it wasn't my good one. It didn't last long, pricey.
311A complete.
Solid. It looks like Kochi did go up on that one from 250 to 260, I think. That sucks. And then they lost points. Probably because of me, you know? I get to choose the end of the day? Okay, guess we'll do that. If you think you'll need a couple of extra hands tomorrow, you can order any cop to come in and work overtime, but if they're working flat out, they'll be much more exhausted. Somebody's bound to make a mistake. did a good job today too, but we're gonna give him the day to work tomorrow as well. Now let's see about. Are these guys supposed to be like? They're supposed to be detectives. They didn't do anything today. Let's have Mole for tomorrow.
Didn't have the strength for it. Slumped shoulders, blank stare, wrinkled skin. The past few weeks, I don't hardly recognize my old friend. In his younger years, he reminded me of a gallant royal officer in an old Kipling story. Kendrick isn't just crumbling under the weight of the public pressure, but from the shame of it all. Internal Affairs raided the library he inherited from his grandfather, hoping they'd find buckets of cash stashed in the pages. Heard about the look on his face, the fearless policeman standing helpless in horror. I've known Francis for 30 years. The past 20 years he's played loose with the law. And I know that at a certain point every stolen dollar brings more misery than anything else. Probably sounds crazy, but I sympathize with the guy. What can I do? Your friends are your friends, and these are the waters we swim in.
Called all of the people on that list today. Now they know you're in business, so you could get a call from any of them. You don't need to worry about any of them. I've cleared them all.
And what kind of business are we talking here?
It's nothing too serious, just like you asked. Should be just a few small favors. Payments will vary depending on the situation and who you're dealing with. How much are you looking to earn?
$500,000.
$500,000? Why not a whole million?
Because everybody wants to take $1 million. Figured I'd try something different.
$500,000 in 180 days? Well, you could earn it all above board if you netted all the big fish and hit all your bonuses.
Never knew you for a fisherman.
Well, you never got into my business, and I'm not trying to get into yours. But be careful about bringing in any other cops. Sooner or later, they'll put the finger on you. And one more thing, Jack. I remember what you said, but I should probably add one more name to that list. Christopher Sand.
Sand. Christopher G. Sand. Everyone knows the name, but few could tell you who he is. The old man stays away from the spotlight. Always wears old-fashioned jeans and knitted sweaters. Gives to charity. Rarely attends social events. An avid hunter, I hear. Even dabbles in poetry. You'd never guess he's the head of the oldest and most powerful gang in the city. Goes back as far as his great-grandfather. And Sand is strict about following the old rules. He rarely involves himself in commonplace murders and robberies. Hardly needs to intimidate anyone to get his point across. The people who work for him each have their sphere. They provide protection where needed, even work with the authorities when they want to make a deal. Meanwhile, Sand pulls the strings without getting his hands dirty. People sometimes mistake his quiet approach. A couple years ago, an arms dealer decided to expand its business without asking permission, and his whole family paid the price. In 4 weeks, Sand killed 31 people. Old men, women, even a few teenagers. And Sand's people made sure every paper reported it. Frank, I don't want to hear you say that name again.
Jack, please, listen to me. I'm in with these guys.
We agreed, Frank. That's not the kind of business I'm into. I don't go there. Never have, never will.
I mean, it's foreshadowing. Obviously, you will later. They'll make it so that you have the choice as the player, but you will choose it. Francis Kendrick announces retirement date. Construction of Cinema Museum postponed again. Legendary singer comes to Freeburg. Go to work. Asking for a day off. When a police officer is too tired to be effective, he will ask for a day off. Sometimes officers will request days off even when they're at full strength. Some of the reasons you'll hear are far-fetched, while some are very serious. Don't overindulge your subordinates, but don't antagonize them either. Remember that everybody's got secrets, and you've got to make sure these guys have your back. Party didn't come into work today. Birch, my son was in a car accident. The doctors are fighting for his life right now. I just can't manage to work today. Can I have the day off? In addition to their performance ratings, police officers also possess rank. Employees begin at the lowest rank and can be elevated in rank, well, unless you're the dude who I got killed yesterday. I think it was a dude. Pricey. Employees begin at the lowest rank and can be elevated in rank with 1, 2, or 3 stripes. Once a week, you can pass out stripes and improve the rank of any employee. If you think that no one is worthy of the honor some week, you can postpone the ceremony until later. Insignias won't go out until your people are ready. Well, all I said was proceed. What the fuck? I don't know if this is like gonna be set in stone. Employees of rank not only increase in professionalism, but also learn to command. Whenever a ranking officer is on the scene, his or her colleagues are more likely to be less tired than I am, are more likely to perform better than usual. Sometimes when cops get ranked, they start thinking more seriously about their service. This can mean less drinking and more time spent on the job. Some of them might even turn out to be dependable. It's not a very good picture of cops, I guess, but whatever. Okay, so these other people don't have stripes. Is that what the deal is? And so Stovall would probably get pissed if I gave Kochi a stripe without whatever. Just go and start the day. Freiburg isn't one of those cities where you listen to what they say or nothing at all. You can always select any song from your collection and play it at any time. Just like in real life, well, the life of your grandfather. Bud meets Bob. Bud Freeman. Okay. Hiring and firing. Jeez. Alrighty. Let's learn how to hire and fire cops. Proceed. Affairs Police Station. R1 to labor management. You have a certain number of paid job openings for which you can hire any available applicant. Job slots are separated between officers and detectives. Dude, I'm not firing my best. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my god. I haven't even had a chance to check out the old man. He's got the most stars, and you literally want me to fire him. I can't click anything. I have to. It's forcing you to do this. If you have legal grounds for the termination, no one will ask any questions. You might need to fire them anyway. Legality be damned, but that can land you in additional proceedings, and your other staff will become more worried about keeping their jobs than they are about actually doing their jobs. Another way to free up a slot is to have a police officer killed, but that's not really a valid option, right? Obviously, they'll do that later. Proceed. Fire legally didn't come to work. Came to work drunk, too old, failed 3 assignments in a row, 0 of 3. Fire illegally, this action may result in serious consequences. So I guess we're saying he's too old. I can choose between the two, but I'm gonna go legally. We're just gonna have this guy killed. Just close, right? Yeah, okay, close.
211 in progress.
Vandalism at St. John's Cathedral. We received a frightening call from the local cathedral this morning. The abbot discovered that someone entered the old cemetery during the night. Jeez. The old yard's tombstones are painted with with satanic symbols, and some have been broken into pieces. It seems there are even marks from a shovel, but the abbot would say no more. All right, let's take. Can't use. I absolutely fired him, but okay. I guess we won't go with the top two. Actually, he's getting fired, and Roy's getting killed. So let's go ahead and do this. Send him out there. They're both gonna die. Businessman Harley Jones, looking out his window, saw 2 teenagers scratching offensive slogans on his new car. I'm gonna try to not send less than I have before. Yeah, all the slots are filled right now, so. Okay. Well, there you go.
1210 in progress.
Waitress named Mila. Hey, Kunis, how you doing? I didn't know you were waitressing again. The whole married to Kutcher and super rich and also successful acting career not working out anymore for you. Feels bad, man. Waitress named Mila reports that she just served a chicken Eddie and a Diet Coke to a dangerous criminal who she'd seen on television just this morning. The culprit is sitting at the window eating a burger. Alrighty. Gotta go Coachy. They will not let me select SWAT. So I guess we're gonna figure that out later. So we'll send our two best. Gonna leave us screwed if something happens before the other ones get back, but it is what it is. Well, I mean, I guess I sent one that was kind of shitty, but still. Oh, I didn't hit X there, by the way. I hit O, and it still went away. So I don't know what the deal is. Oh, those guys are on the way back. Got it.
1210 complete.
The waitress had mistaken retired officer Frank Nero for the fugitive in question. Fucking fantastic. I said that was going to happen, I guess. False alarm. Mr. Boyd, my bouncer stuffed himself with Mexican food again, and now he can't get off the can. Meanwhile, the line outside the club is stretching around the block. We need someone outside who can tell the cool guys from the punks. I tried to get Roy killed earlier, and he added 10 points to his professionalism. So how about Birch Jr. this time? Good. Coachy and Vandal are back. Everyone's back except for Birch.
1111B in progress.
Sorry, Chief, but I quit, and one night I pulled in more cash than I earned in a month working at this dump. Mr. Sorkin said he wouldn't mind taking me on. I guess I just wasn't cut out to be a cop. Alright, in the meantime, I'm gonna turn the audio back onto the controller. I think it's cool. And also, I'm sitting relatively close, so we'll see how that goes. I didn't really want Birch or Roy on the squad anymore.
11 in progress.
Oh, okay, I got 4,500 for that. Suicide threat. Fleet Street naked man carrying a canister of gasoline is threatened to set himself on fire unless his favorite chewing gum becomes popular again. Still can't send SWAT. I wonder when that's going to happen. Oh, support on the right side. Probably. Although it could be detectives too. Who knows?
Officer, looks like we have a situation here.
It sounds so much cooler when it comes through the controller like that. As police arrive, a clown is seen making balloon animals for the kids. Cover up in a raincoat and pretend to be an illicit customer. Take the clown onto the ice and round up any witnesses. Carefully watch the clown from the stands. Yeah, because this is the dude that we don't want to get involved with.
1111B complete.
Huh. Well, Stovall, who I guess we fired, and Roy, have both done really well in their 2 assignments I've given them.
411 complete.
There you go. Van Dahl and Grant doing a good job as well. Oh, and I guess I can end the day now. I'm waiting for everybody to come back into the station. Okay, now at this point the timer has ended, so you have to end the day. Oh, that sucks. I can't. Okay, good to know for the future. I can't. The people that I made work extra, I can't make them take the day off. How did Purdy stay? Oh, he didn't. He's the one that didn't. He's the one that didn't come into work, right? I don't know, but they're almost all of Shift B, outside of the detectives who haven't fucking done anything yet, all have full energy. So I don't think we need to push anybody out. Stovall and Birch Jr. are not going to be available. I guess after you fire him, you got to make him keep working. He did manage to finish at 420. I don't know if the game did that intentionally. That is the not everywhere in the world, but that is probably where this is supposed to be centered at. Would be the whatever, you know what it is. Yeah, so they're all down low as far as work. I'm not going to force anybody, I think, onto the next one. We're not even really using the detectives yet, so we're good. Because all you can do is just order them to work the next day. Alright, so we're done the day. Robespierre to reveal his identity when the time is right. Great, so got a Batman thing going on here. Feminist organization denied official registration. Oh, okay. Enemies using feminists to destroy Freeburg. Okay.
Whenever I'm alone at home and there's a knock at the door, I always hope it'll be my wife, Laura. She's always forgetting her keys.
Hello, my name is Steve, and you're Jack Boyd, is that right?
To get to my front door, the Bible boys walked about a mile from the local bus stop, jumping over mud puddles and skirting a couple of landfills. Laura doesn't go in for religion either, but according to her, these brave lunatics with their fake smiles deserve at least a minute of attention. She patiently listens to them, asks them questions, regales them with pastries, and never once dropping a hint of condescension. When I watch her do it, I've got to admit it gets me. I'd have hugged those boys, sat with them on the porch and lit up a cigar. But a month after Laura left, all I could do was quietly ask them not to bother me. Today I'm a little rougher still. Shut the door on his nose this time. Another couple weeks at this rate and I'll be greeting anyone who comes close with my service pistol pointed towards the sky, ready to fire my warning shots. In my life, even the basic stuff never goes like it's supposed to. Normally, when a wife is going to leave home, she'll make a scene, or at least sit everyone down for a serious conversation. But Laura just disappeared. The children in the stories always stand on the side of the mother, but all three of our sons supported me. The in-laws always blame the husband for making their daughter unhappy. But now Sally, Laura's mother, well, We sort of have a pact. The fellow Laura ran off with is young enough to be her son. I hear he's 30 years old. Of all the possible information a man can know about his wife's lover, I get hit with that. Fortunately, Laura's mother doesn't like the way it sounds either. Sally figures this guy just thought he'd have some fun with a mature woman, but he'll be back chasing college girls before the year is out. So we have an agreement. Sally's gonna track down Laura and try to reason with her, and we'll arrange a meeting. Meanwhile, I'm supposed to not do anything stupid, which of course means anything at all. It's a crazy situation. I'm the police chief, and the person I'm trusting to find my wife is an old woman armed with a phone book. But I can't afford to lose Sally as an ally. So for the moment, I had to swallow my pride.
Hello.
Mrs. Markham, this is Boyd.
Oh, is there any news?
That's what I wanted to ask you. Have you found anything? An address, phone number? Have you spoken to her?
Don't worry, Jack. I've narrowed the range to 2 suspects, or whatever you like to say at your police building.
At my police building, we find people faster than a funny old woman chirping on the phone with my wife's girlfriends.
Oh, you're an old man, Jack. Come to your senses. They'd give us straight odds on the street. But I've got more energy, Jack. Maybe you think I'm a foolish old woman, but I go to my book club, argue with the girls about Byron, and it gives me energy. I talk to my dogs, and it gives me energy. And you have nothing, Jack. You don't even have a hobby. You got no passion. It's why Laura left you.
Let's not go back into that, Sally. Find my wife, and we can discuss my hobbies later. I'm waiting for your call, and my patience is running thin. Laura, if you've stopped loving me, I'll let you go. I can't expect the impossible from you. Just don't let me die out here, okay?
What the fuck? If someone commits a serious crime and flees the scene, the case goes to your detectives. Here we go with investigations. What the fuck? Oh, L2. And then that. Investigations slots. They investigate the crime scene, interview witnesses, and gather whatever information seems pertinent. One of your detectives will be lead investigator on the case. You can assign additional detectives to any case who will work under the lead investigator's subordinates. The more professional the lead investigator, the more effective the team. And we got fucked because the 2 good investigators didn't show up today. Black activist Ronnie Moore was found shot outside his home. Member of the city's cleaning crew saw an elderly man approaching some expensive cars in the parking lot, carrying a long iron rod. The whole street could hear him shouting, "Bastards, thieves, bloodsuckers." Racist gang has recently made some trouble in the city. They're capturing black townspeople and beating them to death. They recently sent a message to a local radio station promising to kill all the black doctors, firemen, and police. We don't need any more dead police, especially not mere months before the election. The racists are gaining more and more followers, and even some of our citizens support them. You'll have to fire all your black employees over the next 2 days due to mounting racial tensions. Gas stations and rails camera recorded a car that's on the stolen vehicles list. We said 4 to them? Jeez. Detectives have interviewed witnesses, collected evidence from the scene, and are pursuing the investigation. Expect results. Clues. Eric Graham, a drunk witness. They drove by in a sedan and they shot like a machine gun. I didn't see much. Oh, there. Glenn Clayton, neighbor. I only heard a few muffled shots. Lawrence Carr, neighbor. He got what he deserved. He's been causing trouble for a long time, and recently there's been lots of cursing and carrying on. Miss Cobb, Stacy Cobb, a witness. I don't remember the car in the neighborhood was quiet. I never heard any shots. Mr. Carpenter, Daryl Carpenter, a neighbor. The police these days don't do nothing. I almost died myself. I went to buy some medicine and was nearly hit by some idiot's car.
212 complete.
Corey Ramsey, mother of several children, has expressed her concerns about a suspicious man wearing bifocals seated on a bench beside a playground. He's been watching the children for over an hour and has taken several photographs of them. Well, I'm not sending... Shit. I don't want to send everybody back. It looks like Koshi and Murata should be back soon, though, so... Because I don't really want to send either one of these by themselves.
Officer on scene. Looks like we have a situation here.
Driver's nowhere to be seen. Interview and potential eyewitnesses. Wait at a safe distance for the driver to appear. Search the car. Well, I think... Oh, this was the carjacking, so they can... Cool. Got lucky there, I think. Even Birch. No energy. Wrong day. Gets a bump. Detectives present frames, different versions of what might have happened at the crime scene. You've got 3 frames. They get it wrong half the time, but a good cop can separate fact from fiction if they know how to look at case materials. The more professional detectives work in an investigation, the better their instincts. To get your suspects, you'll need to figure out the true sequence of events at the crime scene using the frames you think likely, sometimes with a little guesswork thrown in. If you add it all up but the sequence fails, you're probably telling the wrong story. Put frame in sequence. Man, and I'm close and I can't, like... What the fuck is going on? I don't understand how to do this. Oh, put frame in sequence. Well, yeah, if it's meant to be this sequence, it's not the order, obviously. Kevin's throat bar. A bartender reports that a couple dancers started fighting over tips and a cat fight broke out right on stage. Bartender reported that a fight has broken out between a patron and the bar's bouncer. The man, apparently drunk, had climbed onto the stage while a local singer was performing and tried to sing a duet with her. Chief, I just about nailed the jab a couple times, but he was too fast for me and won. How's Murata not Asian? But okay. It's too fast for me and one on points. I don't really understand all their rules, so I can't keep track of points very well. But he was alright. Even showed me a few tricks after the match. I got carried away a little and pulled my back. I think I could take a day off. On the stage are 2 strippers going at it, and it's gone beyond arguing to a full-on cat fight. The bouncer is fast asleep, clearly too wasted to handle the situation. The drunken patients are happily watching the fight. Strippers continue fighting, oblivious of the police presence. Yeah, nobody's got full energy, so I'm going to let them all kind of take the day off. See how shift day can do on their own tomorrow. Retired police officer Thomas Blaine shoots pregnant woman. Officer Blaine explains, I thought she was a suicide bomber. May Riders City has no problem with racists.
Why would a man need a barn? To store all the stuff you can't bring home. About 30 years ago, back when I was young and interested in farming, I carried all kinds of junk home. After a day in the field, I'd come home with buckets, shovels, dirty boots and clothes, and instantly transform the living room. But even back then, there's something I always kept in the barn. I stopped keeping my pills inside the house because every time I was about to take a triple, someone would knock on my bedroom door. Now they're knocking on my barn door. Well, fine. It's not every day that someone comes to visit your barn. In all the years we worked together, Kendrick never came to visit the house. We drank at bars, went fishing, went to the mountains, even chased off some poachers one time. But he never came for dinner with the family. We never watched football over here. And now he's brought his friends to visit my barn. I always try to look unsurprised, like it's an everyday thing to get visitors at the old barn, especially guests with their own personal bodyguards. But Kendrick is sharp enough to see he's caught me with my pants on backwards.
Sorry for the surprise, Jack. We saw you from the car. Figured we'd find you in here. I'm going in for a minute, fellas. These guys will wait outside.
How long you been dating the lover boys?
They're Sans people, Jack.
Yeah. So now you're appearing in public with members of the Mafia?
Jack, I'm leaving tonight. More like fleeing. Jenny and I are taking the girls and making a run for it. Probably won't be seeing each other again. I've got new documents, a new name, a new life, everything new.
The papers say you're still working your last week for the department.
I've got to get out today. I won't be getting another chance. Don't know if you noticed, but the whole city is against me.
You told your Mafia friends about your plans.
Jackie, if I don't fix everything with them in the next few hours, they're going to kill me. And not just me. My family, my relatives, God, Jack, I don't know who else. They found out that I was planning to run and they demanded that we close our contract today.
Your contract, Frank? Really? Is that how you talk now? Maybe you should call in the lawyers to straighten all this out.
Now is not the time, Jack, please. I have a commitment to them until the end of the year. They need an inside line at police headquarters. I can't just give them back the money. That's not how the Mafia works. If I can't find someone I can trust tonight, I'm dead. You know me, Jack. I wouldn't ask you if I wasn't afraid they'd cut my daughters to pieces before sunrise.
He's the damn fool who puts his daughters in the crosshairs in the first place. Anyone in my place would have dressed him down good. But I didn't want to pile it on. Fate's already got this guy's soul in the grinder.
Alright, time to go Black Cat. Actually, I don't like the, it's not just that I'm colorblind, it's just the way they do things like this. I have to assume, because like in one it gets bigger, but it's lighter. So I'm doing this, which I think is agreeing to help. I wasn't paying attention to how it started. I think it looked like it started like this. So I'm going to click this. Okay, I did agree.
Give him my phone number and tell him it's done. Don't call me. Don't come to work today. I don't want to see or hear from you again. Time for you to go.
Jack,
Get the fuck out of my nice cozy barn, Frank. At the time, I was trying not to think about what just happened. It was almost too much to take in. I'm probably the most popular police chief in the history of the city, and I have to admit, I've thought about that more than once, sometimes with a little pride even. In one of the features they wrote about me in the papers, they said it pretty plain. He catches the criminals. Believe me, high praise like that is unheard of in Freeburg, especially for a cop. And here I am, the person who catches criminals, and I've agreed to help the Mafia, or I'll come home to a bag stuffed with my kids' body parts. Right before the last hammer falls. Hey, remember that cop who caught criminals? It turns out he was a Mafia bitch. And all for the sake of a greedy, corrupt cop who should have fled the country years ago. That sound right to you?
No matter your personal relationship with the cities, I figured at some point like this would just start happening, right? I mean, we're 5 days into a 180-day game. But there's still new stuff, so, and not just story related and cutscene, but like actual game mechanics. So gonna still talk about it, I guess. Requests to City Hall. No matter your personal relationship with the city's administration, your police station is at their mercy. In order to maintain reasonable working conditions, you have to send appropriate requests to the mayor. Decisions from City Hall depend on whether they're satisfied with your work. You can send requests every 5 days. The fools in charge of the city may refuse outright or accept only some of your requests, so only ask what you really need. Every morning there's a dirty, piss-soaked bum sleeping at the cafe. The man refuses to go away and growls at anyone who approaches, scaring all the customers. Oh, she was a chick. Price was a chick. Good to know. Touch of Dionysus liquor store. Witness looked on from her window while an armed man with a stocking on his head entered the nearby liquor store. Okay, we're going full on this one. Fight in residential area. Hot dog vendor reports that he saw two Elvis impersonators grappling right there on the sidewalk. They're swearing in Spanish and beating each other with microphone stands. I'm trying to remember what time it. Trying to think what time it tends to say the day is over. I think it's 2100. So basically 9 p.m. I also haven't really paid attention at the beginning of the day when it starts the timer. The shop has 2 exits from which a few people have already fled. Sneak up to the back door, drive a patrol car right through the front window, enter the store through the main entrance. Stick-up man noticed the police presence and took the cashier hostage. He's holding his gun to the hostage's head and shouting, "Back off or I'll blow his goddamn head off." Sorry, goddamn face off. Meanwhile, the cashier is yelling in an unknown language. The robber grows. Hopefully that timer in the other one's not going. It says 44, I guess, right now. Grows visibly nervous. "Don't shoot, please. I just need the money. I'll just take a little bit and go. No one was hurt." The cashier begins to cry. Shoot the robber. There's 2 ways out of the shop: in cuffs or in a body bag. I'll let you leave here upright, but only if you release the hostage. What the fuck? That was some bullshit. Check this year, the The organizers of the Golden Beast Hunt suddenly changed the rules of the annual shooting contest. It now features teams instead of single competitors. Can you send me 2 of your finest marksmen? I'd really love to do well in the competition. Well, I was kind of hoping that Robbins would make some money from this and decide to leave without me having to fire him, but gotta send 2, so might be losing Birchie as well. It's a hot one today, and a lot of people are going for a swim. Last week, 4 people drowned on the beaches of Freiburg, and the press was in an uproar. Please send someone to keep an eye on things. Antique Chinese necklace was stolen from Bai Baoling while she was on the way to the pawn shop. Gallery expedition entitled Sex Operation. A gang of young people in ski masks forced their way in and began smashing exhibits, shouting, "We don't need this shit in our city." Did it, boy. We won that. Ernest, he knows a lot about shooting, even taught us a thing or two. He invited us out hunting to celebrate the victory, so we'll be taking a day off. We deserve it. I'm already at the point where I'm like ready to
212 complete.
I'm gonna start just kind of pushing through these things and not.
In progress.
A guard went out for a smoke and saw a teenager writing obscenities on the wall of the building. I chased the brat up a tree. You can take it from here. Yeah, see, it's 2100. It should be over. Those two are still out, though. Good. So tomorrow is going to be a long day, more like the first of a lot of long days. There's just too much going on. So Kochi didn't get any sleep the day off? And again, you can't tell people that they don't have to work, which is kind of stupid. It's like we're not, as long as they show up, we shouldn't need any extra detectives. So Beasley, who hasn't done anything yet, seems fine. I have to fire Austin, though. Assuming she's black. Officers, or they mean investigators too, which would mean I'd have to get rid of Armstrong, which is like fine, whatever. He's only 100. And Moser, who's actually in the middle of an investigation, so that would be a little weird. Nobody's got full bars. We got a full staff tomorrow, so we're good. It's a Saturday night, though. Thomas Blaine, pregnant woman, killer, sent to mental hospital. Mayor Rogers displeased with police department. Mayor Rogers, I will bring order to the police station. I mean, the game's keeping my attention. It's got me up still at
Mr. Boyd,
6:30
there was a man here earlier.
Eastern time.
He left you this.
A man? What man? Who let him on this floor?
I don't know. I've never seen him before. I asked him his name, but he just ignored me. He was talking on a big telephone, you know, one of those portables. He gave me this envelope and left.
Damn. Okay, let's see about this.
Wait, so is this...
Of course, they could have shot them the second they took the photo. But I knew Kendrick and his family were all right. Either way, the message was not that they got out. It meant that I was in. My servitude to the Mafia had begun. I'd only been in my new position 5 seconds, and I already knew why Kendrick called it a contract. You sound doomed if you call it what it is. A curse.
So it
Boyd.
seems like...
Good morning, Jack. I believe you just received my message.
Who am I speaking with?
Oh, I'm sorry. I forget some people don't recognize my voice. But I assure you, Jack, if I was sitting right there in front of you, you'd have no trouble recognizing me. Like I was a member of your family. Even better than a wife, perhaps. A wife can betray you. No man is immune.
I don't talk to people who don't tell me their names.
Oh, Jack, don't be so childish. You're too old to run away from strangers. Yes, we both are. And in our old age, friendship becomes rare and all the more precious. But of course, we must work with new people and find out new names. So if you insist, Jack, let us formally meet. Hello, Jack Boyd. I'm Christopher Sand.
Wonderful, Mr. Sand. And what is it you do for a living?
Oh, you'll soon find out all about that. Well, you'll learn much more than a simple policeman could ever expect. You're a simple policeman no longer, Jack. Don't turn off your phone. You start today.
Eight in 10. It's been my go-to principle since my first day on the job. I've got to let my colleagues hush up what they need to, 2 out of 10 times, so that they'll help me with the remaining 8. 80 out of 100, 800 out of 1,000. I'm proud of those statistics. It's not so bad for Freeburg, right? But now I just officially became a Mafia whore. I'm supposed to be fearing for my life, for the lives of my wife and children. But the only thing I can think, what's gonna happen to 8 and 10?
Looks like the janitor hasn't been around to clean the toilets today. I don't know about you, but I cared about the cleanliness of my intimates. Can I go home? No. Also, the phone thing threw me for a little bit of a loop. One of those big portables. So this is kind of suggesting that the timeline of this is like, what would that make it? Like into the late 80s, I suppose. Possibly sooner, but probably not much later. Maybe like really early 90s, depending on the area. But this is meant to look like a pretty significant city. So that all seems weird to me, because these definitely seem to be, again, in my opinion, kind of like more modern concerns as far as police dealing with society. So, which is part of the reason why I was interested in playing it. No, you can't go home, Yancy. I understand it's final and that's a 7 a.m. is when we start here. That's final on a turntable, but that didn't throw me, I guess. So penalty from City Hall. Please be advised that we are unhappy with the efficiency of the Freebird PD. We're cutting the department's budget. Close. You lose 1 job slot. Removing an occupied slot will automatically fire an employee. No empty slots. Yeah, so I don't know if the whole fire all black cops thing again goes to investigators as well as policemen, but it's obviously at least policemen, so Austin's got to go. City Hall cannot meet your request at this time. Wait, what the fuck? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. I just fired her. Young employee at the factory got into a fight with the manager and is trying to push him into a vat of boiling chocolate. Did I lose a slot because I didn't fire people and then I used that empty slot to fire a person? I did not consider that to be attempted murder. I don't know if it said that it was. But I guess a vat of boiling chocolate could be that, but okay. Good to know. Parking lot attendant Dylan Burns reports seeing a teenager walking between cars, trying handles in hopes of finding an unlocked car. Before the attendant could approach him, the teenager found an unlocked door and shut himself inside. A few seconds later, the teen... Wait, what? No. Clear all slots. That's not what I selected. Grieving child called in saying that someone was holding him against his will. They won't let me go outside. They torture me and bully me. I don't think I can keep going. I want to go outside and see Pete.
We've got a situation here.
Ah, okay. So we can go into this. over the next 2 days. So I guess that was why. Which shift do I want them on? So shift A's only got 1. Shift B's got 3. They're better. What's higher bolt? Well, they're both 700, but wait, sorry, which was it again? Shift A.
In progress. 710 complete. In progress. 911 complete.
So I just wanted to like send all of them. There's 4 slots, so it's like you just send everybody but Austin, I guess. Assault with a deadly weapon at a parking lot exit. Security guard stopped a suspicious-looking van and asked to check the driver's membership card. The female driver reached casually into the glove compartment, then pulled out a gun and opened fire. We will send Austin. Maybe she'll get killed instead of having to get fired. Normally days end at 2100. Not today. I mean, it's Saturday night, so in the game, not in real life.
Looks like we have a situation here.
We'll let the time go and see if it stops at like 3 or something like that in the morning. Yeah, okay. So now we know. Weekends go to 3. Well, Friday night didn't, though. That's weird. Just Saturday night, I guess. Racist gangs run wild and city investigation into Francis Kendrick could resume. Second tower to be built in Freiburg.
The people of Freiburg have built up a tolerance for the petty horrors of modern life. You'll never see crowds gathering around a beaten passerby. Folks rarely even slow to gawk at a car accident. And street theft doesn't turn heads anymore. Been a long time since people got worked up about stuff like that. So when I ran into a troubled crowd on the way to work, I knew there was something serious going on. Something bad enough to knock these people out of their daily rhythm. And we're talking about people who would step over a corpse if it was blocking the door to the coffee shop. But apparently all it takes is a bunch of leaflets, or spreading broken glass across Main Street, or releasing a couple of hundred rats in the ice arena. The mysterious figure taking responsibility for these strange acts goes by the alias Robespierre. Nobody knows who he is, what he wants, or what all this adds up to, from the buckets of lard spread on the sidewalk to the front door of City Hall covered with ostrich feathers. But this strange cross between childhood pranks and cheap theatrics has got the people all worked up. Everyone understands when some Freiburg crook satisfies the basic human need to rob and kill. But when someone steals a lion from the local zoo and locks him in a cell below the courthouse, the people start asking questions. Myself, I kinda like this Robespierre. It's not just the pranks he's pulling or his green bull's head emblem. I just like his funny nickname. Robespierre? Really? Who does that make me? The Marquis de Lantenac? I don't think so. In the old books about revolutions, I fancy myself the old gunner who goes off to war with a bag of damp powder. Or maybe the innkeeper who tops up the beer kegs with mop water. It's something to think about.
Martin Stead is your new deputy. Let's just waste all our money. How about that? Mafia services. The Mafia can offer you some very interesting services. You're practically a member of the family now, so it will hardly cost you a thing. Crime Trap. The Mafia will falsify a special crime in progress report, and all the officers who arrive at the scene will be killed. Up to 3 cops. Price is $1,000. Investigation Trap. The Mafia will falsify a special investigation, and the detective who arrives at the scene will be killed. Only 1 detective. Price $1,500. Threaten the Mafia will intimidate members of the committee before the hearing at the prosecutor's office. Price $3,500. Okay, so this is what I would have to pay to make that happen. I don't see any police officers that I would feel the need to get killed currently. I don't know who the detectives are on this shift. So I'm going to close this for now. Yeah, we're looking at shift A. All pretty solid. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, what? Yeah, we're in shift A. I can get Roy killed just to test it out. Be right back. Alright, sorry about that. There's nobody in here now. Could be people watching later on the replay. If I was on the timer screen, I would indicate when they could come back, but it's okay. Yeah, I don't know how much longer I'm gonna go on this, but it's still relatively new. Only into the end of the first week here. What was I doing? I was looking to see. Oh, with the whole, how you can have them, they'll kill cops or detectives, and the third one, members of the committee before the hearing at the prosecutor's office. Not open to us yet, I guess, probably just because we don't have 35 grand. But yeah, no, we're in shift A. None of these guys I'd feel the need to kill, as I point out. I would have done Roy. That would have been fine. That would have been a nice little test. Shift B, I don't know if it's just because it's the, it's the B shift or whatever, but like, seems severely lacking, comparatively speaking. I don't know if that's my fault. I mean, I did hire 2 detectives for shift A, but it would have been just Beasley if I had not done that. So, and if what the fuck, and if I mean, if I'd put one of them down here, I don't know, then you'd have 4. It just seems unnecessary. So yeah, I don't think we need to kill anybody today. We're good. Your new assistant is no Kendrick, but he's not as useless as he might seem. He can handle some of your duties when you're pressed for time, but lunch is on you along with any other expenses. Oh, shit. Send your staff for training. Send employees to an informal outdoor party. Hire a snitch. Pay an employee to gather information for you. Consulting detective is 50K. This game could get fun eventually. Experience with a retired detective who will assist your investigations for a modest fee. By names, find out which of your employees plans to testify against you. Wow, that's pretty fucking cheap. By silence, a little bit more expensive. Convince your employees not to testify against you. So it's only 12K to. Anyways, I was gonna make a political thing, but I'm not going to. Stats. Weekly salary 1,200. Money earned, spent. Earned 5,700, spent 2096. Crime solved 16, failed 7. Cases solved 0. Officers dead 1. Detectives dead 0. Detectives fired 2. Officers fired 3. Best officer is technically now Murata, and best detective is a new hire Case. They're just basing that off of the stars. Find out what this training is about. Oh, you gotta send somebody from current shift. Can I? Okay, cool. Wait, hold on. Pay an employee to gather information for you. That is interesting. Wait, did I not just say yes to that? Somebody has joined us. Welcome to it. This is The Police. The name of the game that we are streaming. Available for PS4 through PS Now. Man returned from work earlier than usual and found his young wife in bed with her lover. The maid called the police when she saw the husband taking a hunting rifle from the wall cabinet. Yeah, we're gonna send the best this one. And actually, let's get Samadhi. No, send Grant.
Got a situation here. 911 complete.
Man, Marauder just keeps getting better and better. Yeah, I don't know if you're still in the room, whoever that was. I'm doing full screen. I'm not on the one where I can tell whether people are in the room still and if they're making any comments or whatever. Yeah, this is called this is The Police. It's an interesting game so far. It's the first stream. Could be of many, based on the things that you get to buy and get corrupt when we choose to go Black Hat. But for now, we're actually trying to do our jobs, interestingly enough, for the most part. But part of that job is, please be informed that your employees have filed a formal complaint against you. We're gathering information and familiar ourselves with services. Okay, so good thing we got the snitch going on that. Investigation failed. All detectives are dead or fired. Yeah, we've fired them. Today in Freeburg, we're hosting a premiere of Back to the Future. The film's distributors have asked the city for an officer to stand at the door and ensure the visitors don't bring their handheld cameras into the feature. I just kind of want to refuse this, but fuck it. Solid. See if I can wait for them to get back, just in case I need more than 3. Oh shit, now we got 2. And what the and we got sand? Jesus. Mr. Boyd, I have a very sensitive issue which our mutual friend Charles Dill said you could help me with. As you may already know, I own the largest music store in Freeburg. Recently, my ex-wife got half my record collection in a lawsuit. There's a lot of rare records. My ex is very afraid of the police. Always tries to act like a law-abiding citizen. And some of your guys went over there in uniform and told her those records were evidence in an important investigation. She just smile and give them what they asked for. And they even check into the warrant. Well, I don't know what the other ones are going to need. It's just a problem. Young father, deprived of his parental rights, tried to pick up his daughter from school. When he wasn't allowed access, he attacked a teacher, knocking her to the ground and started kicking her. Okay, so they make you go in order, I guess? I don't know. It's weird. Well, that is a problem. Hopefully they only need one person. I honestly didn't even read it. I just sent them. Okay, so Vandal drinks. All right, good to know.
Looks like we have a situation here.
I was gonna do the last option, but it felt like he probably would have killed the officer if I did that. Now, I don't like that I can't get into old messages. 2209 is the one I gotta avoid, I guess. Even though the day normally ends at 2100, so it's weird. I don't. Day 7. What is this? This is Sunday night. So Saturdays and Sunday nights are late. Are they all gonna go late now? Now that we work for the Mafia? So this will be the first time that we let one go. Oh, whoops. Great. Looking forward to that. Gonna make this prick come in tomorrow. He went to the bar. I only have one snitch with Case, so he's got to work every day. City Treasury doles out 90K for mayor's birthday. Mysterious Robespierre announces political ambitions. 6 new restaurants to appear in city by year. I just get to skip a day? That's good. Too bad I forced 2 people to work and I didn't get to fucking use them. Shea Broom re-elected as Freeburg General Attorney. No black employees in City Hall. Mayor says accidents. Major businessmen ready to invest in the future of the city. I'm going to make Roy come in because I'm going to send him to training. Please be advised that we are unhappy with the efficiency of the Freeburg PD. We're cutting the department's budget. Well, there you go, Roy. I was gonna kill you. Guess I don't need to now. Feminist protest. A few months ago, an unregistered feminist organization appeared in Freeburg. Today they're holding their first protest. As far as we know, the organization is backed by foreign sponsors, and their goal is to get their people into important positions into City Hall. The protest may escalate into something more serious, and we need to show them who's in charge. Use batons and tear gas, even firearms if necessary. Let's show them what intimidation looks like up close and personal. Well, that's very interesting. Wonder if that happens every single time, because that's what I chose. Shit. Well, I didn't get all my messages yet. So you need to hold on. God damn it. Jack, we have a problem. The chief prosecutor of Freeburg is a woman, and it seems she's on the side of the feminists. You might be walking into some serious legal problems. Or play it safe and fake some evidence to shield you from any possible prosecution. Evidence against Francis Birch. A forged recording of a telephone conversation in which one of your officers says he hates women and he couldn't wait to turn their faces into bloody messes. 15K. I don't have that much money. Evidence against Sand. Will forge a letter in which the mafia says the feminist organization is getting in the way of their business and demands you suppress the protest by force with the threat they'll go after your family. Well, that'd be an interesting fucking choice. Pretty sure your staff is preparing a plot against you. Be informed that we are calling in 2 of the employees who initiated the complaint against you for official interviews. Date of interrogations July 25th. Your snitch claims that these employees are... Fuck, are you serious, Murata? The employee complaint against you has been passed along to the prosecutor for further investigation.
7:30 in progress.
Roy gets back from that, if he gets back from that, he or she, I guess, we're going to send them to the academy for training. Oh, actually, yeah, I'm not going to send. I fired Roy because of the penalty from the. So I guess I could send Samidi.
Officer on scene. Looks like we have a situation here. Please.
No, I don't like that. I can't go back into old messages. There's a thing on there as to when I've got a deadline for something, and I don't.
611 in progress.
I was trying to raise 10-1, Sergeant Hotspot.
I've literally no idea who you are. Like, you're a 110. I don't recall even putting you on. Probably left shift B though. Yeah, you left shift B. Good to know. It's the end of the day. Oh, we gotta put more people on tomorrow. Nobody good. I'm gonna start skipping through this. I think I'm gonna take the mic off too for a little bit. I'm just gonna play.
a dime forbid. The rooster crow and the hen ran around. She said, if you want my fricassee, you'll have to run me down.
410A in progress.
I'm Alabama bound, Alabama bound. I followed you round from town to town. I'm Alabama bound. Don't you leave me here.
I was trying to raise 10-1, Sergeant Hot Spot.
In progress. A complete. 413 complete. Nine ton B in progress. Four ten B in progress. Nine ten B complete. Four 12A in progress. Four 12A complete.
I was trying to raise 10-1, Sergeant Hotspot.
Four ten B complete. 911 in progress.
I had a couple of dicks in my pocket just to make the price of a meal. Well, I threw them on the blanket and they started doing tricks. I was on that train at 5:02. He threw me off at 5:06. Well, this train don't carry no gamblers. This train don't carry no gamblers. This train don't carry.
Looks like we have a situation here.
Shooters are midnight ramblers. This train don't carry no gamblers.
811 complete.
Well, I was on my way to the Mississippi when a gal got on the train. I sat right down beside her and she started to complain. The conductor caught the action. It was somewhere near St. Joe. I was on my way from Mass to Miss, but they threw me off in low. Well, this train don't carry no gamblers. This train no gamblers. This train don't carry no gamblers. No crap shooters or midnight rappers. This train don't carry no gamblers. This train.
911 complete. .412B in progress.
When I encountered a gal on the Santa Fe, my trip came to an end. I said, miss, on a lonely train like this, a guy could use a friend. Again came the conductor. Again I was cut off. He said, pal, I don't know where you got off, but I can tell you where you get off. Well, this train don't carry no gamblers. This train don't carry no gamblers. This train don't carry no gamblers. No crap shooters or midnight ramblers. This train don't carry no gamblers. This train.
.410A in progress.
Trying to raise TN1, Sergeant Southbound.
.410A complete. .412B complete. 910A in progress.
raise TN1, Sergeant Hotspot.
Nine ten A complete.
In my new role as corrupt official, I had to give up some of my favorite habits. I couldn't turn off my phone when my head ached. Couldn't sleep till noon on Saturday and let the rest of HQ take up the slack. No more days off to go fishing. But my weekly visit to the old Colony Club was more like tradition. One night a week, I absorbed cigar smoke, the vague smell of alcohol, the stench of urine, all mixed with toxic levels of old drunken belches. Same picture it was 30 years ago. Tradition's gotta be honored. And to stay faithful to the tradition, you've got to respect the standard rituals. When you're about to roll out of the club, you need to take a deep breath and count to 100. If your stomach doesn't do a backflip, you should be good to make it home. This time I only got up to 60. I was interrupted.
Why? You look even better than you do on TV.
There's nothing more impolite than approaching people in the alley at the old Colony. This is the most private place in the city. All who enter here dirty their shoes with the most elite stream of vomit in Freeburg. This asphalt has been blessed by judges, lawyers, artists, businessmen, and all our politicians. Takes a lot of balls to crash the party. My head was a drunken haze, but I knew who he was. A cartoon gangster suit straight out of Dick Tracy. Fancy voice, fruit cologne, sassy strut. That's how the newspapers described Vikas Varga, rising star in Freeburg's criminal underworld. He appeared out of nowhere, and with the support of the local punks, Varga broke all the old rules of organized crime. He killed those who could not be killed, traded what could not be traded, and robbed those who could not be robbed. In just a single month, this man had gathered an incredible amount of power. He's been called everything from a clown to a madman to a criminal genius, and more often than not, he's called a low-class upstart short on ideas. But if Vargas was one of the old crime bosses, he'd have been cut into pieces and fed to the river. Look past this guy's arrogance, and there's something about him. The city is still deciding what to do with him. Meanwhile, he's burning down the houses of old city mobsters. Not the best time to talk, Mr. Varga.
Well, you know my name. I'm flattered, although not very surprised, to be honest. I might be a little short on manners. Like they say in your fair city, with the right manners, you can go anywhere. Well, I don't want to go anywhere. I want to stay right here.
Even the criminal world needs manners, Mr. Varga. And one of them is this. Don't interfere with a drunken cop who's trying to take a shit and puke at the same time.
Oh, you exaggerate. But is Freeburg always so gentle with its officers? You've been a bit roughed up lately.
I see you already know Freeburg quite well, Mr. Varga.
Well, I love to learn and look around. But I do know that the inhabitants of this fair city should be friends, Jack. Maybe it's true I don't have the best manners. After all, it's only polite for friends to share their phone numbers. This city of yours moves so fast. I feel like I'm hooked on amphetamines all over again. You wake up in the morning full of ideas, and by nightfall, you've all had each other killed. So don't wait too long to call. I don't mind if you're drunk. It's all the more fun. I'll be stoned myself, most likely. Hell, I'm a little stoned right now. It's the only way to live in this place. I like your city, Jack. I'm here to stay.
If it weren't for the phone number written on my arm, I probably wouldn't have remembered the conversation in the morning. But there was no reason to worry. I'd be getting a reminder soon. My morning ritual was plagued by the smell of Vickers Vargas' fruity cologne. It was like the sharp citrus scent was chasing me around the house, as if Vickers was right there in my living room. When I finally realized the smell was coming from a big basket of oranges, it didn't put me any more at ease. I'd opened my door to lots of threatening mail, evidence of criminal wrongdoing, even a dead ferret or two. But fruit? Never. You the fruit guy?
Excuse me?
Was it you that brought the basket of oranges?
Nah, it was here when I arrived.
Fine. So who are you?
Today, I'm your driver.
And where are we driving?
To work.
That's it?
Yeah, we have to make an important stop along the way.
Where?
The ranch.
What ranch?
Just the ranch.
Fine. The morning seemed surreal, and I took in the magic. Why wreck it with meaningless chatter? As my tight-lipped chauffeur drove an hour through God knows where, I started to feel like I was in the middle of a bad dream, probably lying bloody and concussed in the alley behind the old Colony Club, my nose buried in a rotten orange peel. But no, this was no dream. The silence was real. The sound of the engine was real. The dust was real enough, too. And there was the ranch over the horizon. It all seemed familiar. The Sand family's overbearing mansion has been the talk of the headlines for decades, but few have managed to get closer than a few miles. I guess I'm just lucky. I didn't know you took private meetings, Mr. Sand.
Only if I expect good company.
I'm surprised my company ranks at all.
Today, yes. Today is a special day.
So it seems.
Do you often go to the old Colony Club, Jack?
Every week.
Meet any interesting people there?
As a rule, no.
Sometimes you make a date, right? Sometimes make new friends.
Sometimes, I guess. But that's not why I go.
And why?
I consider it a hobby.
A hobby. Do you know anything about my hobbies?
Well, judging by the half-dozen animal skins I stepped on walking over here, it's not much of a reach to say you like hunting.
Love it. Well, I say that now. It seemed so tedious when I was a child. Took ever so long. But now I'm older. I've developed a new talent.
What talent is that?
Patience. The will to wait for the right moment. Let's say you want a deer. You know, you deserve it. You've even decided what dishes its meat will go to and where you'll mount its horns. But to get that deer, you've got to wait. To sit in the bushes and stay nice and quiet. Professional hunters will tell you that the hunt is a rare craft. There are many rules. It's shrouded in mystery and ancient skill. Well, that's all complete nonsense. To get a deer, you just sit on the sidelines for a long enough time, pinpoint the moment when it's finally time to shoot. I learned the talent, Jack, but not like you, oh, Jack. You truly are the master.
I don't understand.
Oh, come on, Jack. I know about the 500,000. I know your plan. Kendrick told me everything. Needless to say, I'm impressed. While some people learn to hold their breath for minutes on end and not to rustle the leaves too loudly, why you decided to just become the foliage. You turned yourself into a bush, surrounded by deer who've been so fruitfully multiplying for decades. But all this time you've held your rifle at the ready. Forgive an old man his imagery, Jack. I've the heart of a poet, I confess.
Look, I don't know what was said between you and Kendrick, but it sounds like you got it wrong.
Oh, I think I understand everything just fine. And I think we understand each other quite well. Jack, in the coming war, we'll make excellent partners.
What war?
One war falls upon every generation. My grandfather drove out the Ambersons back when he was 27. My father destroyed that psychopath gangster, Maurice Bell, when he was a sprightly 30. At 69, I'd begun to think my war had passed me over. But my time has come at last. Tomorrow Vickis Varga declares war, and I'm obliged to answer.
So we're talking about Varga now?
I don't know how he thinks. I don't even know whether he plans his actions or not. I can't divine his purpose. Hell, I don't even know where he comes from. He's a man not of our breed, wouldn't you say? But when he arrived here, I invited him in, told him we could work together. An official invitation penned in my own hand and written on some very expensive paper. And can you imagine a fruit basket? What sense can be made of such a message?
I understand.
You know, Jack, I could just give you 500,000 right now, cash, whatever denominations you like. But I would never insult you so. If I went stalking my prey for so many years, I wouldn't want someone else to shoot it for me. I understand you, Jack, and I'll never ask you for anything that's contrary to your nature. Just think about our conversation. Think about it, and call me.
Like I said, it's a whole new life, and I've had to give up some old habits. One of them, keeping away from things that don't concern me. Now I can't afford the luxury. This spotlight I'm under, concerns is all I got. Tell him it's Boyd.
All right, well, as I think you can kind of see here, also, there's nothing you literally can't click on any of this stuff. So you could only start your day. I'm trying to click every button except for square, see if it does anything. That just brings up the menu. Obviously the share button's not going to do anything except this broadcast. And options is the same thing as the O button. And if I want to go to main menu, it's saying unsaved progress will be lost. I've not saved, and I don't see anywhere where I can save. So I guess I'm going to try to start the day, and then I'm going to try to do unsaved progress and see where it gets us. So I'll take a screenshot of this. Not that I can't come back to the broadcast, but we're going to go ahead and start the day. And then just looking for a spot where it'll let me like just pause.
progress.
Alright, I'm gonna probably wait to see what happens on this one call. And then I think I'm gonna just exit to the main menu and see what does and does not get saved. Just don't have enough placement. I don't know if it's my fault for not doing what City Hall wanted me to do and getting people fired, but they also wanted me to fire the black people, so it's like, I don't know. Don't really understand why SWAT was unavailable for that one, but okay. Fuck me, which one died? Okay, the lowest ranking one, that's fine. Who's working on his day off. Wait, officer escaped, officer dead, civilians unharmed. Loot found, non-automatic weapon. See what that means. There you go, make some money. Yeah, still no choices of doing anything really at all. Just no ability to save. No save button anywhere in the game. So, that. Might be losing the. Okay, so I think we're still broadcasting here. So I don't know, that's probably just poor design. You don't really want to put somebody in a spot where it looks like they might not have been. Yeah, like that also, that's no good. Like, continue, load, new, like, where's the ability to save? So if you go to, like, load, so it automatically saves, like, every week. It's just today. Is this what we're at right now? No idea. Well, we don't have that much money, so I don't know, but I really need to go to sleep, so it's gonna be it for me. I think when I click, yeah, I can't even, the options thing is gone now too, so I think that's gonna be it for us here. This has been the first part, maybe of more, we'll see, of This Is the Police. Signing out, part 1, 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. Oops, wrong button again. Yeah, we're just gonna see how long did I go for in this. Just almost exactly 4 hours. Nice. So